Did you know that the Voisin Brothers Incorporated, a Fort Kent lumbering company, has just received a most prestigious award for their work? As part of the lumbering series, this video will talk about the award, but will also explain about a new piece of equipment in the lumbering industry called the forwarder. And here we are in the Portage area with the Voisin Brothers Woods operation. And here with me is
Ben Voisin.
Ben Voisin. And Ben, you're from where? From Fort Kent?
Yeah.
Now, do you own the operation? I mean, there's a lot of machinery here.
Yeah. Co-owners with my brother Joe and my father Gary. Yeah.
I heard recently that you've been given some type of award, and it sounded like a pretty prestigious award, at least in the lumber industry. Could you tell me something about the award?
This spring we were nominated for Logger of the Year with the Professional Loggers, and it was a very nice award from them, and we've since been nominated by them to be the Northeast Outstanding Loggers. Yeah.
Now, Northeast, what do they cover? Is it beyond Maine?
Yeah. I would imagine it's the New England states.
The New England states.
I'm not sure how far south it would go, but yes. Yeah.
Now, I mean, this is quite an honor for somebody from Fort Kent, a company from Fort Kent, being some of the best loggers. Now, do you know what the criteria is for the award? Is it because of the harvesting methods or the?
I think it had to do a lot with with that. I think one of the biggest things was that we were a first generation logging company, where we try to do the very best we can with safety, and with our operations in the woods also.
And this is a forwarder. This is a machine that brings the wood that has been cut by a processor harvester and takes the wood out to the road where it can be loaded onto trucks. Today, we will get aboard a forwarder and see it in action. Come join us. So what do you have, a GPS in there too on the other side?
That's the computer right there, all the dots of where the processors cut wood, and we just follow those dots, so.
And this is a forwarder. This is what collects the wood after it's been cut. The cutter comes along, cuts the wood, delimbs it, cuts it to the appropriate sections, and then lays it off to the side. They're actually all sorted by species as well. The forwarder then comes along, drives through the woods, and looks for specific piles of certain species. Then piles it. After he's loaded one pile, he goes to the next pile. Very systematic. He's found another pile. Now he's going to get him. Again, carefully piling it into that forwarder machine. Each log has been cut to a specific length. These are quality logs, and will be sent to the mill for processing, probably into lumber. Sometimes you have to make way. There goes the trees. Actually in the way to grab onto this tree. Those are very nice logs. These look like spruce logs, probably to make timber. Once the load is full, he then goes down to the main road, where it's then picked up by a truck. Very, very nice logs being cut and loaded into the forwarder. As you can see by the chains on this vehicle, it will go just about anywhere. Very skillfully backing the trailer up. Just cleaning up the area of all of these cut logs. He's picked up the logs in that area. He's now trying to relocate to another pile right next to us. Everything is controlled from inside the cab. Here he's sorting, making room for more logs, repiling them so that he can fit even more wood. Now he's going after that pile that's right here. Exactly, the operator knows exactly where these trees are to be found. The harvester, as he cuts each tree, the location of the tree is marked on the GPS. The GPS is then downloaded to the computer on the forwarder, and the forwarder knows exactly where each log is. He's done this area, now he's getting ready to move to another area. the logs on top of that knoll. Now that he's reached his piles, he's now loading them onto the forwarder. These logs are all sorted by species, so when he gets down to the loading area, all of this whole load will be one type of tree. Again, he's very careful to make sure that all the logs are carefully loaded. Even though this is Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, the ground is still a little soft. Very nice logs. Now here we are. This is one of the forwarders, right? From Within
Yes.
Brothers?
Yes.
Your name is?
Tiger Martin.
Tiger Martin. And you're from where, Tiger?
Fort Kent.
Oh, you live in Fort Kent?
Yep. Yep, I've been working for the Vizins for 10 years.
10 years you've been working for the Vizins.
Yeah, this year. And they put me in different machines, but this has been about a year and a half I've been in this. They're good to work for. I like working for them. Been staying here.
Now, so this machine actually just goes out, collects the wood that's been cut.
By the processor, yeah.
By the processor, and then you bring it down to the roadside where it can again be picked up and moved to market?
That's right. The trucks, self-loader trucks pick it up, and they bring that to different mills. It's all on Irving land here.
Now, I noticed they're not clear cutting this area. I mean, they're really just thinning. It seems like just a thinning operation.
Yeah, what we call shelter wood, or in this cut here, shelter wood, or overstory. It's pretty much you taking everything you can, like a select cut, and leaving some still for seed and for another cut. And like by the time we get out of here, it'll be about 40-50 years before they come back in here.
So they're expected to come back here. I mean, the object here is to take only the wood that's not real good quality wood, but leaving the good one behind so they can grow for a little longer.
We do leave some good ones behind, yeah, but because they only come here every 50 years, you pretty much grab everything you can.
The good ones.
Yeah, that while you're here, make it worth your while.
Now, the load. How many cords of wood, or do you measure it in cords that you put out there?
That's a good question. Right now they're measuring it by the ton.
They measure wood by the ton, not by the cords anymore.
Yeah, this is what they call a 20-ton forwarder. So you get about 20 tons per load. Like I said, I'm not going to max it out right now just for your example there, but it's about 2 tons per cord, 2.5 roughly.
2.5 tons per cord.
Yeah, roughly.
Does that depend on the species?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Hardwood is significantly heavier.
Heavier?
Yeah, popple, and then your studwood and saw logs are spruce and fir.
Now, I noticed there was a computer inside. There's a big computer screen, which we'll look at shortly. What happens there? I mean, is it all computerized?
That's another good question. It's very, very computerized. The processor has a little sensor on the top that takes a waypoint every so often. It gets registered in the computer by satellite, really GPS, and then we reuse those files to know where we go, you know, especially because they work at night, and you leave trails and you come back, it's like, which trail was I on, you know? You can use that.
So you actually look at your computer screen. It doesn't matter how day or night.
Yeah.
You look at your computer screen to find the next pile of wood.
Yeah, I'm blue dots. And
Oh, you're blue dots.
blue dots, and I can go back where I was, and there's actually a pencil you mark, you can scratch on your screen. Okay, that trail's done. This is all done. I'm just waiting for the OSB chip right here, you know.
in your neck to say, oh, you're Tiger Martin.
Right, that's it. Catheter and everything.
So this is the computer screen that you were saying that marks all the different loads of wood.
Yeah, all different trails. And
Now in your case right now, you're the blue trails?
yeah, I'm following Billy. Well, let's see. Man, 25. Billy Michaud had cut this, and he's gray dots. We're using one of his trails, and just going through it. The red dots is Danny Netto. He cut up here.
You cut up up in this area?
The guy at night is Tom Long. He cuts it, you know, he's black dots.
So in the morning, I mean, you know, you follow one trail. I mean, blue's your color, so you get in, you know exactly where you need to go.
As I'm working, it's marking too. It's taking waypoints too, and filling up these, you know, telling me exactly where I am and where I'm going.
So you're also marking waypoints as you go.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. The technology that's entered all of the industries.
All of them.
All of them. I know. It's just amazing.
You don't have to leave the machine.
That's right. Now, what's the shift? I mean, how often do you work? I mean, 8 to 5?
That's a good question. Again, I go 4 to 4.
You go 4 to 4.
Kelby Pelletier, Dave Pelletier's son, he comes in at night. He runs this. He comes at 4 to 4. Depending how far we are, like right now I'm getting up at 2:30, getting here for like around 3:45, and we just talk. I did this, I did that, I had to move this yard, and this one's bad. And during the day you try to get the harder stuff, the hills and the mud and side hill.
Yeah.
And at night, just so they can go.
So they have it easier. I mean, they have it easier at night. They might be in the dark, but now are there lights on the machine so you can see the trees on the side?
They're airplane lights, xenon lights that just, I mean, really light it up. You can probably see that from space.
We have to unload the logs on the side of the road where the cranes come along and the trucks to haul them to market. Each log has been carefully measured. And the measurements really depend on the tree itself. The harvester, the operator of the harvester has a lot to deal with. He has to look at the tree and determine how many logs are going to be cut out of that one log, out of that one tree. And he tries to maximize the logs for each tree. trees are carefully stacked to make it a little easier for the loaders to put them on the truck. This is the skill of the forder operator. Starting another pile. Again, they're divided by the quality of logs. Those logs to make nice wood, nice lumber, they're put in a stack. Others that are used for chipping are put in another pile. These are very nice saw logs that he's just taken down. As you can see, he's even sizing the logs, putting the smaller ones together. These trees are all well sorted. These are wonderful saw logs. As you can see, they're going on the same pile with trees of similar size. See the skill at picking up the log that rolled off the pile. Tiger's very talented with this machine. These operators need to be very good in forestry. at tree identification, measurements. Even though the machine is computerized, there's still a lot of mathematical computations that need to be made in this whole tree harvesting process. Even the twigs are carefully piled as to not to waste any wood that's been cut. The load is empty. Now to go back for another load of wood. All of these logs are marked. As you can tell from this pile, there's some red markings on some of these logs. And you can almost make a guess as to what these markings are all about. If you look, this one says Portage, or P-O-R-T. I would assume that this is going to the mill in Portage. This whole pile is. Even the date that it was cut is actually on the log. These markings probably identify who actually did the cutting. Congratulations to the Voisin Brothers Incorporated for being recognized by the Professional Loggers Association as Loggers of the Year. And thank you to the Voisin brothers for permitting the filming of their woods operation. Thank you to Taylor Martin for showing us the forder and demonstrating how the forder is used in the wood harvesting operation.